All right, fair warning, this video will take a level of basically like emotional maturity to comprehend and to understand. So even if this causes some uncomfortable feelings or emotion in you right away, just stay with me until the end because I'm going to help you solve all of these problems in your dating life. Now, here's what you're going to find. Initiating communication with women first, post-sex, will be a turnoff. This video is going to be completely opposite to almost everything that you've been taught your entire life. But rest assured, I'm going to bring a lot of clarity to this subject. I'm going to bring a lot of clarity to this topic. I'm going to show you why pretty much all of the women you've probably dated in the past have lost interest in you. And on top of that, I'm even going to show you ways that you can actually stop making all of these mistakes so that way you can actually get ahead. Okay, now on top of that, coolest thing, I just created a brand new secret presentation for you. I'm helping guys learn, understand, and master the language of women. I actually just finished this presentation a few days ago. It's brand new. You can check it out. It's in the description. Be sure to see that after today's video is over. It's literally brand new. It's a brand new page. It's a brand new presentation. I want you to see it. So go and check that out after today's video is over. But let's dive in. So the fastest way to never get a girlfriend or a woman actually emotionally invested into you, okay, is by you contacting her or attempting to communicate with her or attempting to set up another date with her first, okay? Once you two have slept together, you're going to watch her attraction start to go down, okay? So here's what happens to most guys. You two meet, okay, and you two sleep together, and then you're the one reaching out first afterwards. I don't care if it's text message. I don't care if it's a phone call. I don't care if it's you asking how your day is going. I don't care if it's you asking to set up another date. I don't care. You will notice that this slowly starts to make her lose interest in you. Men who signal that they need any communication or any reassurance towards women will automatically lower her interest level. You're going to find this by you communicating first and say, hey, how's your day going? Hey, do you want to hang out again on Saturday? This makes her feel like you don't have any other better options. And because you're the one needing the emotional reassurance, she also thinks that you have a weaker level masculinity compared to the other guys who didn't call her, okay? So this is what I can tell you. Most men were not taught this. Like when I say a statement like this, initiating communication with women first, post-sex will be a turnoff. Most men were not taught this, okay? In fact, quite the opposite. This also goes against probably like your natural male logic. So what I mean by that is like you were taught to reach out and care for her and show her that you love her. And you were also told that once you do that, she will probably reciprocate interest. And this is totally wrong. In fact, you will watch this in your own dating life. This is so long. What actually happens in the real world is she takes you for granted. And then because you're available and you're now the one pursuing her, she doesn't respect you. What actually happens is once you two sleep together, she wants to pursue her emotional investment towards that relationship with you. And the only way that she can do that is if she's the one reaching out because she misses you or wants to see you. So a lot of guys are probably going to have to learn this the hard way. You see, nobody really taught a guy ever that once you two smash, you better not call or text her first or she's not going to like you. Nobody taught a guy that. Nobody taught a guy that, hey, once you two sleep together, you better not call or text her first ever for any reason ever for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days or however long it takes until her emotions finally work in your favor and she actually misses you. No. No guys were taught that. You weren't taught that. Your parents probably didn't teach you that. If you had an older brother, he probably didn't teach you that. Your uncle, he probably got a divorce, so he sure as hell didn't teach you that. Nobody taught you that. I will. If you look at every woman that you've ever lost in your dating life ever, 3 things probably happened. If you look at every woman you've ever lost in your dating life, 3 things probably happened. Number 1, she knew what your interest level was. How did she know? Because you have this amazing thing in your pocket at all times called a cell phone. And the cell phone, I would say this is just my opinion, this is just my guess, this is just my estimate, but I would say that 90% plus, maybe even higher than 90% of relationships are either won or lost through the cell phone. Because the cell phone at all times reveals your internal thoughts of what you're thinking when you're not with her. That's what you have to remember. So she probably knew your interest level. Number one, she could see that you really loved her. And then number three, she could feel your attachment level. And now she's disinterested in you. See, nobody taught a guy this. Nobody taught a guy that you can't make these mistakes. So this is what you're going to see. There is really 0 point in acting super nice or even communicating a lot or giving any kind of like reassurance after you two see each other. There's like 0 point in doing this because it just makes her not like you, and then she goes and sleeps with somebody else. So keep that in mind. Like, the reason why I want to break this topic down step by step for you like this is so not only you can see your past mistakes, but you can come to a point of like acceptance with this stuff because you're just learning it based on how the world actually kind of works. So when I deliver you these topics, I'm not trying to make you mad or angry or frustrated or sad or even happy. I'm just trying to show you how things work. And what you're going to find is if you allow some time in between for her emotions to work in your favor, so she contacts you first, and I don't care what she says. I don't care if she says, hey, what's up? I don't care if she says, want to go get an ice cream cone? I don't care if she calls you and says, how's your day going? I don't care if she says, I really miss you and I want to see you again and let's go out on another date. I don't care what it is. The fact is, you want her to reach out to you first. You were taught your whole life to be this good guy and wear your heart on your sleeve and always be there for her. And I'm here to tell you that it's the fastest way to make her disrespect you. So, this is how the game is actually played to win in 2025 and so on. This is the mindset that you have to have. The mindset that you basically have to have is like, once you two sleep together, you don't need to reach out. You don't need to set more plans or any more dates. You only need to raise her investment level and her interest level. Now you might be saying, well, Casey, we already slept together. Doesn't that mean that she already has sky-high interest? Not so fast. She thought you were attractive enough to sleep with, but this has nothing to do with her investment level, okay? I understand that this is probably counterintuitive to everything that you've heard your whole life, but you're going to have to go through some experiences to really start to see that who a woman sleeps with, okay, doesn't necessarily equal her investment level towards him if he keeps making mistakes. So what you have to look at is you have to say, hey, we have to raise her investment level. How do we raise her investment level? By showing her that you're the strongest option that she has. How do you show that you're the strongest option that she has? By not needing her. By not even desiring to necessarily need to go out on another date with her. Meaning you're content and okay with being alone. So, she will do the choosing emotionally. There's nothing that you can do or say to change this. She will choose who she chooses and who her emotions decide to gravitate towards. There's a lot of guys where you think, well, if I text this one amazing thing, if I just say or if I just do this one thing, now she's going to want to date me or now she's going to want to keep seeing me. And it doesn't work like that. By you actually sitting silent, you allow her emotions to create some sort of feelings of uncertainty so she wonders what your interest level is. Now you become a man who's far more mysterious because she cannot necessarily read your interest level. Despite what women say, such as, I want a man to be very certain at all times and always lead the direction of the relationship and constantly show me how he feels. You might hear women say these things. It is completely false to what actually happens in the real world in your own dating life. What you're going to find is women gravitate towards men who don't necessarily show a lot of certainty with how they feel towards her. And because he's at like a 5, 6, or 7 level interest at all times, she can't necessarily read how invested he is into the relationship. And that's why she chooses him, because he seems as if he has higher sexual market value than all of her other options. So, She will do the choosing emotionally. There's nothing that you can do or say to change this. She will choose who she chooses. Now, on top of that, she has so many guys right now in 2025 in her direct message inbox, on an online dating app, or text messaging her or calling her, that you have to understand, she will just message the guy that she wants to message. So I don't care if she has 100 different guys trying to talk to her. She doesn't care, and she probably doesn't want any of them. She wants the one guy who she wants. And what I'm trying to help you do in this video is I'm here to show you how to be that one guy. And it's actually quite simple. You basically have to do absolutely nothing. It's pretty amazing. So let's move on to this column, because despite what I've already said through this entire presentation, this column right here is actually the most important, okay? What you're going to find the more that you date is you will start to see that when a woman sleeps with a guy, it really means almost absolutely nothing to most women nowadays. Like, they don't care. They will sleep with a guy, and, then a few days go by and she's like, I don't really like him. And that's just how it is. The only thing that matters, especially in 2025 right now, the only thing that matters that you're going to find is her emotional investment. So the reason why this column is most important is because I'm going to break down every single layer right now of emotional investment. The only thing that matters is her emotional investment. So stick with me. You might be sitting there with a big question mark saying, okay, well, who does she invest in emotionally? If I'm telling you that emotional investment is the only thing that really matters, you might be sitting there wondering, well, then who is she going to invest into emotionally? Well, I'm here to tell you. She invests into the man, okay, with the highest SMV, okay, the highest sexual market value and the highest status. Okay? That's who she invests in. Well, now take that a step further. You might want to say, well, who has the highest SMV and the highest status? Which guy would that be? Well, I'm here to tell you. It is the guy who she likes the most. That's the guy who has the highest status or the highest SMV in her eyes. Well, if you take that one step further and you say, well, who does she like the most? Okay, who does she actually like the most? She likes the guy the most who doesn't need her. The guy who doesn't need her, or doesn't seem to need or even care if he has a relationship with her, is the guy that she likes the most. And that's why I'm telling you, I already know that this is counterintuitive to everything that you've been taught your entire life. And that right here is why I have the best channel right now to actually teach guys how this works. Because what I'm doing right here is breaking down the steps, how it actually works with female nature when it comes to emotional investment. The guy calling her and texting her first is the guy who needs her. Therefore, this is a guy that she does not want. So let's just recap this really quick. Emotional investment matters. Who does she invest into emotionally? She invests into the guy emotionally who has the highest status and the highest SMV. Well, who has the highest status and the highest SMV? It would be the guy that she likes the most. Well, who is the guy that she likes the most? It's the guy who does not need her or does not need a relationship with her. So you got to be able to be alone. This is what I can tell you. You have to be able to be alone. If you show that you need somebody, if you show that you need a relationship, she will not like you, because that is the opposite of masculinity. Masculinity needs to be strong, stoic, stable, resilient, everything that signals and shows you're a man's man and complete almost by yourself. You don't really need a relationship for anything. You're completely centered and stable with who you are. You got to be able to be alone. You can't need any women for companionship, okay? You cannot need them for companionship. What you have to do is you have to be okay with being alone. If you're the type of guy where you don't like being alone, you got to go get some friends, or you got to go hang out with your family members more. That relationship with your brother or your sister that you have neglected, right? Maybe you don't see your mom or your dad enough. Go hang out with them for companionship. But if you want to actually succeed romantically, you need to be okay with being alone, and you need to be okay with having some space. That space allows her to actually decide to invest into you emotionally. So this is what she actually wants. For all of you going, well, what does a woman really want? If you're sitting there going, I've taken her out on a lot of expensive dates, doesn't really seem to do much. I've tried doing some approaches when I go out and maybe I'm meeting, up with friends. out one night at a social event or something, doesn't really seem to help. You might be sitting here wondering, well, what does a woman actually want? Okay, this is a easy to understand framework for what a woman really wants and how this typically plays out. What she actually wants is probably just to see a guy, and she'll start sleeping with a dude basically like casually for a couple months or a few months, somewhere along those lines. Then what happens is she starts to have her feelings build towards him as he seems somewhat emotionally cold, or like he doesn't really need a relationship. So because he's kind of like emotionally cold, her feelings start to build towards him because he appears like he doesn't really need her. Then he acts like he doesn't really care if he sees her a whole lot, and he acts like he doesn't really care if he has a relationship or not, because he probably doesn't. And then because of that, that's the guy like she feels is like the strongest or best option for her. And then what tends to happen is she feels like she's actually like winning him over because they're now basically growing companionship together. Okay, slowly. The reason why you need to let her pursue you, stick with me here, is because her emotions do the choosing for her. She will be loyal to one thing and one thing only. She will not be loyal to you. She will not be loyal to what she should do. She will not be loyal to what maybe her friends or family tells her that she should do. She will be loyal to one thing and one thing only, and that is her own emotions. Women are loyal to their own emotions and their own emotions only. If you start to understand that and you start to actually see what women respond to, women only respond to what their emotions feel like. Because of that, let her emotions work in your favor by you not being there. This allows her to close the gap and desire more emotional reassurance, and now her emotions work in your favor because you're stronger than all the other guys who said, "Hey, can I take you out for dinner this week?"